Ellis, I guess first, just talk about kind of your thoughts on the defense and how you guys played.
Well, I thought we played hard, and obviously when you make 5 stops in the last 5 possessions, really 5 punts and a stop at the end of the game, you got to feel like you're doing something right. But we continue to have these trash yardage plays, and it's, a couple of times it was a missed assignment, one time it was a missed tackle. The other time, quite frankly, I think it was great execution by Mississippi State and caught us in a bad defense, executed extremely well. We prepared for both quarterbacks, so it wasn't that we weren't prepared for Prescott, but we had to split our time. And frankly, had we been able to work more on that style of quarterback, I think we'd have been a little bit more sound trying to keep him caged up a little bit better. But it's sort of been like the first 2 games. There are a lot of things we've got to get better at, a lot of things we've got to clean up. It's easier to coach them hard when you win. Some of the things are being repeated, and that's the only frustration. Some of it was just some new formations and things that they did that we had to get adjusted to. But really, again, an overall feeling of it is real proud of the way they finished the game.
What were the adjustments you just made after halftime to kind of, they were out leveraging you quite a bit there in the first half?
Well, the main thing is we, got them aware of the formations. And we were talking about them as we were going through series, but sometimes you have a quick series, you can't get them over there and clean something up. There were probably about 3 formations we saw that we had not seen. And when those happen, if they execute correctly on the other side, they're going to probably have a shot to have a successful play. There were a couple of formations that we worked on that we just did not handle well, and our players were not playing right. So we had to get those kind of straightened up, and then we probably were a little more aggressive second half once we got comfortable with what they were doing, formations, and players were a little more clear. We played a little bit more zero coverage and played a little bit tighter stuff up in the box.
How much did it help having Chris Frost out there as far as getting that aggressive, especially at line?
Helped a little bit. I don't think Chris had about 1 or 2 tackles. It was helpful in the fact that Jake had to go 40-something snaps the first half. And I had moved Anthony Swain over and gotten him reps during practice and would have used him in an emergency, but he had not had enough time to really get comfortable back at Mike. And when we had some good drives, and I knew Jake wasn't too fatigued, just left him in there. But he needed a blow. I mean, a lot of his issues were just fatigue. And so it was good to get Chris back, obviously, for that reason. Jake played as well as Chris did overall, had more tackles, more production, and really fit the run pretty good. I thought we played better up front in the second half. And some of our interior guys really got after it and played a lot better.
Ellis, what are your thoughts on essentially the 4th quarter streak you got going on? Really, obviously, kind of got shredded a lot during the first 3, but when it came time to settle in, they did that.
Yeah, it's really been kind of a weird, somebody, I think it's Mark Twain, said there's lies, damn lies, and statistics. And I'm starting to think that way because, we're sitting up there in the top 3 or 4 in scoring defense, but we're way at the bottom in total defense. And it goes back to those trash yards. We're making some really dumb mistakes, but then our guys are really playing well under some pressure situation. I don't know, the 4th quarter thing, I think, to me, credit Coach Malzahn. I think he's put a confidence and an attitude in these guys, and they determined they're going to play through adversity and finish ball games. It's something they've had a problem doing. That's all I can put my finger on. We didn't do anything that much different scheme-wise. We maybe played it a little bit better. I did say, we were a little more aggressive with our calls in the second half once our kids got settled down on some of the formations. But, that's important, but it's also important to start the game well. And we've not done that 2 out of 3 times. And then we've had our times where we kind of, we get in these tailspins and then sooner or later pull back out of it. But we're going to be a lot more consistent if we're going to win down the stretch.
You got Dee and Justin back this week. What do you see out of each of them in their debuts this season?
Well, Justin came on the field. He's probably had a total during the week of about 45 plays at will linebacker when you really total it up. And he made some mistakes just having not played the position. But the first 5 plays he's on the field, he makes 3 tackles and 1 tackle for a loss. And some guys just have an instinct for making plays. And so it's my job to get him schooled up and better each week and better each day. And he's going to play a lot. He may start. I'm going to see who has the best practices this week. his foot's irritating him a little bit, and Cass's knee is irritating him a little bit, so it's probably a good situation for us that they are both, you know, able to rotate with each other. Same thing with Chris and Jake. You know, every time Chris makes a real move to take over, he has something of the issue like the ejection, or something of that nature. And not only did he miss a half of football, you gotta remember, I could not rep him a lot in practice because I had to have somebody else ready to go. So I had to give Swain a lot of those practice reps. So he didn't make as much progress this week as he should have. He had some mistakes. So I'm ready for a situation where our two deep, our rotation in that spot settles down and we can get some consistency in it.
So is Justin moving over to weak side now, or is he?
I've got him at will linebacker. Garrett, you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, he's a will linebacker.
So Robinson has solidified the starting star
He's a
spot?
star and doing a good job. I think he played better the week before, certainly played better the first game, but he had a good solid game, but made some mistakes the other day. The move has also been in the confidence of Brandon King. He's really coming along pretty well at the star position. We feel comfortable about him going on the field as a backup to Larizzi.
So with Garrett and Cass, you just kind of rotate them at weak side depending on what you need?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's a competition, see who the starter is and who the backup is. I don't know, my experience having coached in this conference, I've had a couple of guys, and I think I've been at 17 years, I don't know. But I've had some guys that were too good to take off the field, and I've had some guys that were too bad to let them stay on the field. I feel like right now, our linebacker group is solid. They're playing hard. They're all making enough plays that, you know, I trust them on the field, but they're all making enough mistakes. I don't think anybody's just come out and stated, hey, I'm number one player, and I'm gonna play 65 plays, and the other guy's gonna play 10. We're just not there yet. So I'm trying to see who has the best week of practice, who I think really is most prepped up to play, and go with that.